Fed up of wardrobes, driven to distraction and drowning with doom boxes? Tired of living in chaos? Welcome to Decluttering Untangled, how to declutter when you're overwhelmed, ADHD or autistic. I'm going to help you uncover the secrets to decluttering, no matter what hurdles you face. You'll discover how to declutter, de-stress and transform your world. I'm Heather Tingle, reformed hoarder, neurodivergent declutter queen, and your guide through the maze of mess. Let's get untangled. Hello Untanglers, and welcome to another episode of Decluttering Untangled with me, your host, Heather Tingle. Now, this is episode, oh my word, can you believe it? And instead of a big roundup or looking back at my story, I thought I would give you something practical to celebrate. Now, unfortunately, I can't come to all your homes and help you declutter, but I thought what I would do is give you a little something that you can take action on right away, because that's something that is really useful. So today, I'm going to talk about 100 things to declutter right now. And this isn't going to be like a long list for you to try and remember. So don't panic. I'm not going to sit here and read this giant list out. But what I am going to do is share a handful from each area in your home, get you thinking. And more importantly, I'm also going to talk about the reasons we hold onto them as a little recap for you and the thought processes that get in the way of each type of item. Now, if you want the full list of 100, I've made a free printable for you. So you can grab this list in the link in the show notes. So make sure you go to that so you can sign up and get it for free. Now, let's start with the kitchen. So the kitchen is meant to be the heart of the home, but generally it ends up being a place where laundry gets shoved, things to trip over and sides that you can't cook on. That's generally what happens. So think about the things that are like hidden clutter, where you might be able to free up spaces inside. So have you got a cupboard of mismatched Tupperware lids? So for me, Tupperware is one of those things, it multiplies in the dark, I am absolutely sure of it. And also there's always a random lid and a random bottom that do not match up. It's like, how is this even possible? But we keep things in there just in case. So we keep them just in case we'll find the base again, or we'll find the lid to it, it'll turn up. We keep the bottle without the lid, or we keep the lid without the bottle. Let's be honest, it's gone forever. We've no idea where it's gone. And if we do find it, it's probably going to be that grubby and dusty, we're never going to actually want it anyway. So let them go. It's the same with things like chipped mugs and chipped glasses. Honestly, you deserve to drink your tea from a cup that doesn't leak or make you sad every time you look at it, or that's going to be dangerous and it's going to spill a hot drink all over you. But we keep them because we feel bad about waste. Or it was a gift with a pair of socks and a chocolate in it, for example, and we feel bad because it was a gift. But they are not reasons to feel bad about letting something go. We hold on to stuff because we're so scared of waste, but actually keeping something that doesn't work is also a waste. It's a waste of your time, it's your space and your energy, and that's the bigger waste, really. Things that we should have in our houses should be there for a reason, whether they're a reason because they're purely beautiful and you love them to bits, or they're ugly but you love them to bits, or just that they do a job that you really need doing. There's no reason to keep hold of something for the guilt letting go will give you, because the only person that will feel that guilt is you, and you'll face those items every single day and they'll impact you every single day. So that's the kitchen bit. Moving on to the bedroom and the wardrobe. Now, in the wardrobe, obviously the big thing is clothes that don't fit you and you don't like, or shoes that hurt. But we tell ourselves we might wear them one day, we should keep them because we spent money on them. Now, if they don't fit you, but you adore them, in my world, you should keep them because you love them. But if they don't fit or you don't love them, don't keep them, because every time you open your wardrobe and you see those items, you're reminding yourself of a version of you that's not comfortable. It's not true to who you are right now. And what it does is, having all those clothes that you're not bothered about hides the clothes that you do love, that you should be wearing and that you should be enjoying, but you can't see them amongst the battle in the wardrobe. You'll end up reaching for the same ones time and time again just because it's easier. So you'll end up wearing like 5 or 10% of your wardrobe rather than all of it. And really, you should be looking at all your clothes and feeling like a kid in a sweet shop and thinking, which do I get to wear today, rather than what can I just grab? What's wearable, what doesn't need ironing, what's not on, what's on the floor that doesn't look too bad. And so letting those go, yeah, you might have spent money on them, but it's not wasteful to let them go. It's actually really freeing, and that money you will never get back ever again. So you're better off having a home that you love rather than old money sat in a wardrobe, because it's not money anymore. It's dust. Your bathroom. Bathrooms are one of those places that are usually the least cluttered generally. And that's because the only things that generally go in there are the things that should be in there. But they're still full of clutter that like quietly expires. So things like old sun cream. You can't remember when you last opened it or when you last used it. Half-used toiletries that you didn't like, but you feel like you've got to get to the bottom of before you can use the new one. Except what happens is you just buy the new one anyway, and then you replace that 15 times over, and you've still got this half-used bottle of stuff that you didn't really like anyway. Makeup has got a bit gloopy, or contacts, like a million mirrors that you got free with like sets that you're never actually going to use, because like, let's face it, we just look at phones now, don't we? Looking mirrors or windows as we walk past. Why do we keep things like that? Often because either they were expensive or we think we should finish them before buying anything else. But if you don't like it, you're not going to use it. And it is clutter. It is not self-care. And the other thing is, like the free gifts, like the toiletries and things, we'll say, oh, we'll use these at some point. Like, I'll use these when I really, get to the end of a bottle, or I'll use them when I like save them for desperate. But we never get to that point. So they never get used and they just go off and dusty. And then, let's face it, you don't really want to use a bottle that's been, a bottle of whatever, or a soap that's gone rock hard, that's like 15 years old. You're not going to get to that point. So it's far better to declutter them now while they're still useful to somebody else. Your living room. So the living room is everyday clutter. It's often invisible to you. I mean, you'll notice it, but you've kind of just got used to it until you look out for it. So things like remote controls for devices you don't own anymore, old mobile phones, stacks of DVDs when you don't even have a DVD player anymore and you use streaming services instead. Now, there is a little thing for that. I still have my CDs. I do have a CD player, but I do use streaming services. But I really still like knowing that I have got my CDs, and occasionally I do go back to them. If that is you, that is okay. But there's no point holding on to old VHS tapes if you haven't got a VHS player, or you've not managed to get them transferred onto something else instead. So either get them transferred or let them go. Things like half-dead pens, the ones that you always pick up, start to write and realise, no, that was the dead one. Those ones. Mystery keys, those random keys, you've got no idea what they're for. Cables for God knows what. We tell ourselves we better keep it just in case. But actually, the truth is, if you don't know what it belongs to, you're not going to suddenly need it, and it's highly unlikely that you do. And if you do, you can generally find a workaround for it. So that's like the common thread in all our thought processes. I might need it one day. I spent money on it, and it's wasteful to throw it away. But you really do need to look at it differently. If you haven't needed it in years, the chances are you're not going to need it in the future. The money is already gone, whether you keep the item or you don't. It's not gaining any more money by holding on to it. All it's doing is blocking your life. And real waste is letting something go, is letting something you don't use take up space in your life. That really is a waste, because you'll be waiting for your real life to happen, and before you know it, you're at the end of it. So don't waste any more time on things that you don't need to waste time on. Let them go and honestly feel that lightness. So the 100 items you can declutter right now, it isn't a huge declutter system. It is easy, simple, little things that you can do every so often just to make you feel like you're making progress and doing something, rather than if you're in a stuck moment and you can't do a big declutter, like a proper declutter. It's just something to start you off. So the full list of 100 things you can declutter right now, I've made a free printable guide for you. You can grab it in the link in the show notes. So print it off, stick it on the fridge, tick things off when you want a quick win, and share them with me. So little thank you from me, really, for joining me for 100 episodes. When I first started this podcast, I definitely would not have ever believed that I would get to 100 episodes. And I do want to keep on going, because I really do appreciate all your feedback that you send me. I know that it's helping you, and that's what makes me happy. So whether this is your first time listening to me or your 100th, I am really grateful that you are here. So remember, you're not alone. Be kind to yourself and keep untangling. Thanks for joining me for today's episode of Decluttering Untangled. If you found anything that I've said today helpful, please do me a favour, hit that subscribe button or leave me a review. It's like receiving a virtual high five that keeps me going and lets me know that I'm helping real people out there and I'm making a difference. Please remember, you're not alone in this. I'm building a community of fellow untanglers over on Facebook. Just visit the show notes for the link to my free decluttering community. So until next time, remember, you're not alone, you're not lazy, you can untangle your life.